We get a look at D'Angelo Russell and the Brooklyn Nets, who are preparing for an opportunity to make a statement like they have all season. Ben Simmons hoping a bigger statement than what happened in the playoffs last year. Question might be, what would the load be for him in Game 1? Is Embiid going to play? How much will he play? Lots to get to with Raz Goldamude, who joins us, who is there live for Game 1 of what should be a fantastic series. And Raz, let me start with this. Embiid, we know game time decision. We saw him in warm-up. It looked like he could go. What's the latest on his scenario?
Yes, I'm here in Philly. Joel Embiid was out there doing a pregame warm-up. It included dunks and drives and shots. He's got a big old brace, a gray brace on that left knee. He may play with it. He may not. It has been cited throughout the second half of the season with him since the All-Star break. But after he finished working out, I walked off the court with him. I've had 76ers games in the past where he's had back pain or it was a game-time decision, and he often would be like, I'm about to play. I'm playing. You know, today he looked me in the eye and said, honestly, I really still don't know yet. And I think that is because it's a conversation about pain that is changing from day to day. It's about his pain tolerance. He told me it hurts when he's jumping, when he's landing. He said with a smile, moving, it hurts. So it's also something that he's doing rehab with massages and ice therapy. They're also really taking care to look at his diet and how he's eating because he missed 14 games since the All-Star break. And he looks a little bigger too. You know, the conditioning is an aspect for a big man as well. So, and one of the words he used with this as well is tendonitis. And that kind of pain can be really intolerable at times. What I know about Joel Embiid is that he wants to be on the court. He is incredibly frustrated by this injury. He had an MVP caliber season. He has battled with injuries his whole career. And I know that the timing of this is incredibly frustrating. My gut feeling is that he will play. He looked mobile enough out there. It's about him being able to manage his pain tolerance. It's not official yet. And I know that Kenny Atkinson on the other side for the Nets has fully prepared his team for the idea that Joel Embiid will play. They are expecting to see him Game 1. So we'll get an official announcement, just a gut feeling. I think Joel will be out there.
Roz, we showed shot to two younger players before we brought you in. One, D'Angelo Russell, who is now going to go through this for the first time with this team that has made a statement getting here. Ben Simmons, though young, at least went through this a year ago, and that's just the beginning of the difference in the experience between the two teams. What's been the conversation on both sides about that heading into this series?
I spoke with Ben Simmons yesterday, and he said last year, his first playoff experience, he wouldn't say he was nervous, but he said, I felt anxious. And I said, well, how do you feel this year? And he said, ready. And he said the reason why is I know what to expect. For Ben Simmons especially, he understood the value of the ball. And when they were playing against the Celtics, he understood how much the turnovers hurt his team. You know, J.J. Redick spoke about the value of experience in playoffs. Understanding, you can talk about it, but understanding possessions. And it's not just possessions at the end of the game, but the value of each possession at the start of a game. But it's weird because the 76ers have experience, but then on the other side, the storyline is, do y'all have experience playing together? And you know, that starting group only played like 10 games together, and it's not nothing. It's something, and they are willing to say that. But I do think, and I heard from them at practice yesterday, you can improve through playoffs. And I think one thing they have on to their benefit is they have veteran players that have a chance to improve through playoffs together. And I think the man you're looking at right there, Ben Simmons, is incredibly important this series because he is the spoon that stirs this. He's got to get it all together. And I've spoken to him. We could talk more another time. But, you know, he's watching extra film, not only with coaches, but with his brother on how to get all these different stars and puzzle pieces involved and also stay involved himself. So we shall see.
Roz, appreciate the time. Should be a fun series. This could be a very interesting one. We'd love to see Embiid play, so it's at full throttle. Look forward to the coverage throughout the course of the playoffs. Thank you.
All right, no problem, Casey. See you.
All right, you too. There's Raz Goldamude. Now, she was referencing exactly what we're showing you here. When you look at the group, it's like, okay, these are the names, and it's like saying in baseball, he's just starting rotation, and then all of a sudden, here comes Tommy John. He played a long time ago. It's a surgery. Look it up, people. When you look at what's happened, Smitty, here, has there been enough time on the floor together for you to say there is chemistry in this group if we say hypothetically Embiid does play throughout the playoffs?
No, I don't think it's enough chemistry to win a championship. I think it's enough chemistry to maybe get to the Eastern Conference Finals. I would love to see this group play a little bit more. The one question mark for me has always been point guard position. I love Ben Simmons. He's a point forward. Nothing wrong with that. I'm talking about guarding point guards. When you have guards that will be fantastic in pick and rolls, and that's the most of the time, you're either going to have J.J. Redick guarding point guards, Ben Simmons, or Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler is definitely capable, but it puts a lot of strain on you. I've been there trying to guard pick and rolls, getting hit by Brennan on read picks. It takes a lot of your offense. And just like a point guard controls offense, you control defense of how well you play pick and roll. That's the position I think they're a struggle. And you look at the numbers. Spencer Dinwiddie, D'Angelo Russell's had their big-time numbers against the Sixers.
Yeah, and you said, does this team have enough chemistry to win it? I look more chemistry, I deal with role definition. And that's the thing I think this team might struggle with is the role definition. Who does what when? When is it time for them to get their points? When is it time for them to get their shots? I'm not sure if this team is quite settled on that just yet because of the injuries. You've had Embiid out. When he's been out, then Ben Simmons has had to do more. Then sometimes they have to go to Jimmy. They have to go to Tobias. It's going to be interesting if this team can put it all together, everybody get on the same page, and they look like a cohesive unit. Because in the playoffs, that's what the good teams do. They understand when and where the ball is supposed to go and how to get their teammates their shots in certain types of critical situations.
Yeah, it's a great segue because here's the interesting. We talk about the antithesis, right? Home versus road experience so far in this show. You've got one team where we wonder, is there fractured chemistry? Is there enough? The other team, as well coached as anybody, whether Kenny Brendan wins the award or not this year, and they are as together a group as anybody. How many shots of the bench do we show during every shot? How much does that mean? Because they have shot makers and talent, but give us a sense of beyond that togetherness, that unit of Brooklyn. How much can that be effective?
Listen, when you play for your brothers and you guys are together, that is a whole nother level of energy. When you look over there and it seems like nothing, when D'Angelo Russell hits a shot, you see Theo Pinson get up and he's over there dancing. That's something for you to play off of, and especially when you're on the road in the playoff series where you have to bring your own energy, the bench, and cheering for each other and pulling for each other and having that genuine love can definitely get you over the hump in a playoff series.
When you look at the East, one thing said a lot about Boston is Kyrie, difference maker. Why? Can get you that shot in the fourth quarter. We don't talk enough about maybe nationally. This team's got three of those guys at the guard position in Dinwiddie, in LeVert, and, of course, deloading at the front end, Smitty, who can all do that.
And then to go back to what you guys talked about, chemistry, these guys play the same type of way. They're all young, and they still all three root for each other. You talk about Dinwiddie, Karis LeVert, and D'Angelo Russell, same size, similar play, same kind of age, and they love to root for each other. And then they're number one in drive. So if the basketball is kicked, you have a guy on the wing that can make the drive and make the play. The basketball is kicked on the other way, he can make the drive. They have three guys that can create their own, and they share it.
And we learned this at the All-Star. Don't sleep on Joe Harris.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, not at all.
If
that's
he's
my
standing
young,
there
that's
alone,
my rookie.
Not at all.
You might want to pay attention.
Big
We got
game,
more.
Joe.
Can you believe